Good evening. I hope everybody's well. Thank you to you all coming back. Good afternoon to the new moderator of the channel, or one of them, and that is VP. So thank you for doing that for me, my friend. Guna Eagle Eye is also a moderator, so he can easily be spotted because his text will come up in blue. So any frauds will be kicked straight out. Good afternoon to Stephen Gilchrist. I hope you're well, my friend, and everybody else. Krish, I hope you're well, and everybody else in the chat. But yes, earlier on this afternoon, it is broken that Spurs, of all teams, have gone in and outbid us for William Saliba. This is the same William Saliba that the same journalists that are reporting this story have been tweeting out for weeks saying is a done deal. Charles Watts, I quite like listening to when he speaks, but he tweeted out earlier and I replied to it. He tweeted out saying the deal was all but done. The deal was done apart from the final stages or some crap. So I replied, well, it ain't done then, is it? It's not done until it's done. Anybody who works in a sales environment knows that when you close a deal, it's not closed until they sign on the dotted line. So listen, William Saliba could have had a pre-contract agreement with us. That could have been the case. But for everyone to tweet out, it's a done deal and this and that, it's so far away from the mark. It is unbelievable because it obviously wasn't a done deal. Clearly not. They've gone in and offered £30 million, which is over what we've offered with the add-ons. They've offered that without add-ons. So they're apparently sending representatives over to France tomorrow. They're going to try and do the deal. But where do I stand on this? How do I see this? I see it as, you could look at it from a couple of different ways. Is this St. Etienne putting this story out there to make Arsenal hurry up, and Tottenham genuinely ain't interested in him? Possibly, you never know. Is it the case that Tottenham have outbid us? Well, quite possibly as well. That is definitely a possibility. I don't know. And then you could look at it is the final way that it's already a done deal for Arsenal, and this is just complete and utter crap. I don't know. But all summer this has rumbled on, and for 2 months everyone's been saying it's a done deal. All the people, journalists and stuff like that, have been saying it's a done deal. Well, it's quite clearly not a done deal if Tottenham are in for him. Now, are they in for him? Who knows? We shall find out when he actually signs for a club. Now, just because Tottenham are in for him, if they are in for him, it doesn't mean he's going to sign for Tottenham, regardless of how much they've bid or not bid, or whether it's genuine or not. Like I said, we don't know. We're not privy to that information. But let's assume that it is a genuine bid and they have outbid us. It doesn't necessarily mean he is going to end up at Spurs. And the reason for that is they accepted our bid for him, right? They've now apparently accepted Tottenham's bid. So there's now 2 bids that they've accepted, right? It's now down to the player. If the player doesn't want to negotiate with Tottenham, he ain't going to Tottenham. It's as simple as that. So if he wants to negotiate with us, which apparently he already has done, then he's ours. But the fact that, everyone's losing their mind over this, I ain't too fussed whether we sign him or not, if I'm being completely honest. I didn't have a clue who the guy was 2 months ago. I still not really seen him play. I've seen the highlight reels, but they made Shamak and Sonogo look decent. So listen, he might well be a top draw centre-back. I don't know. But why are we even in this position of, is it done, isn't it done? I don't know. Listen, there's all sorts of things that go on in a transfer deal that we don't know about. It could be something to do with the medical. It could be something to do with the add-on. It could be something to do with the lawyers drafting the contracts. It could be to do with anything. The lawyer then drafts the contract up and then says, well, no, you haven't worded that how we want it worded. You've now got to draft it all up again. So tiny little things do hold a transfer deal up. But I don't know. Listen, Arsenal fans are volatile at the moment. And listen, a lot of it is fair enough. We've only spent out on Martinelli. So I get why people have got the ump. I genuinely do. The new kit's come out. Everyone's rushing out to get the new kit. We've only spent £6 million. We've got £500,000 off the wage bill with the players that have left. And we're on tour with a captain that can't be bothered to play. You don't want to go. So yeah, we're in a bit of a mess, if I'm being completely honest. It's not been exactly the ideal transfer window, has it? And I actually put a tweet out yesterday saying that every single day, Arsenal and Man United try and outdo each other on banter. And again today, you know, yesterday it was Koscielny. Today this story's come out about William Saliba and Tottenham. Like I said, I don't know if it's true or not. I don't know. You can only go off what is put out there and then make your own mind up off of it. Personally, like I said, I don't care if we get him or not. I genuinely don't. Why put all of that time, effort and resource into getting a deal for next summer? How about do the deal next summer? Go and get a player next summer for next summer. Do a deal this summer for this summer. All this pissing about for next summer. We need players for now. So yeah, there we go. Let's read some of your comments out. Please do stick a like on the video. It's over 550 watching live. Let Spurs have him. There's better players for now, says Sergio. Good afternoon to you, mate. I hope you're well. And I think you're spot on with that as well. Couldn't agree more. Paul Cohen, good afternoon to you, my friend. We're becoming a joke of a club. Get the bloody yank out the club. Well, people know my thoughts on that. So yeah, I can understand why people have got the ump, put it that way. Villa has spent 100 million. What is going on? Do you know what, Bob? Thank you very much, and good afternoon to you as well, my friend. Let me. I see somebody the other day tweeting about they've spent 26 million pound on Tyrone Mings. Right now, Aston Villa got relegated from the Premier League. They had an American owner that basically run them into the ground, pretty much. They then got relegated. They then got new owner. And they've had all the parachute payments. When you get relegated, you get parachute payments. I think it's for 2 seasons or 3 seasons. I'm not quite sure how it works, but they're very, very large parachute payments. We're talking 80 million plus every year. Not only that, they won the playoff final, which again is like the golden ticket. It's the Premier League golden ticket. So if you actually add up how much money Aston Villa have got from parachute payments and how much money they've got from getting promoted back to the Premier League, Aston Villa, 100 million pounds spent is peanuts. Somebody was talking on Twitter today about Leicester City. How comes they can spend 40 million on Tillemans or whatever it is they've spent on him? And how comes they're looking at this player and that player? Leicester City only have 2 players on over 100 grand a week, and that is Jamie Vardy on 140 and Kasper Schmeichel on 130. Harry Maguire's the next highest, and he's on 90 grand, right? Other than that, they're all 50s, 60s, 65s, yeah? Their income annually is 165 million pound a year, right? Their wage bill is 66 million pounds a year. So every year there's a 99 million pound that they can stick over there for the upkeep of the stadium, for any other things that may pop up. I don't know, organising flights to go abroad for a pre-season tour or something like that. I don't know, away travel for the whole season and stuff like this. Upkeep of the stadium, etc., right? So if they go and spend 80 million pounds in this transfer window, Leicester City, they are still running well within their means. That is without any money being invested into that club. They're running within the means of what they have got coming into the club. This is where the problem lies for Arsenal. We've overspent on absolute crap for a decade. Shamak, Denilson, Yaya Sanogo, and now fast forward all the way to now, El Neni, Jenkinson. I could list half the squad or more, and this is what I see is that is the problem. The fact that yes, we've cleared £500,000 off the wage bill right now, and I do think we are actively seeking to buy players. I do think that. I don't think they're just sitting on their arse doing nothing. I genuinely believe they're looking for players, but at the same time, to compare us to teams like Aston Villa and teams like that. Remember last season, right? I remember Robbie asked me this outside the ground, yeah? I think it was West Ham at home. He goes, yeah, but Lee, West Ham, Fulham, Wolves and Everton have all spent more than us. They've all spent over 100 million. And my answer to that was, I guarantee you by Christmas, one of them teams will be so fucked that they will sack their manager, then they'll get another manager in and they'll end up getting relegated. Doesn't matter how much you spend, it's how you spend it. Fulham learnt a massive lesson last season because they went out and done 100 mil. West Ham, in the end, they had an all right season, but 100 million pounds for an all right season. Everton, again, in the end, they spun it around towards the back end of the season. But at some points in that season, their fans were going mad because they weren't doing great. The only team that did do well with the money that they spent was Wolverhampton Wanderers. They over-exceeded anyone's expectations. But the other three teams, Fulham, everyone tipped them to stay up and get mid-table and stuff like that. And they ended up conceding 81 goals and getting relegated, £100 million lighter. So, you know, it's all well and good these teams coming up and spending. And I get that they have to do that. Arsenal obviously have to spend. I get that as well. But it's how you spend. It's all about how you spend. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. Let's read some more of these comments. There's hundreds of them flying in as well, man. Is this the fake Lee with the real Lee mask on? No, it's not, mate. I am the real Lee. And thank you to everyone watching as well. I know it's a Friday. I know people have got stuff to do, so I do appreciate that. And for those of you that were waiting for a 9 o'clock stream last night, I did put on my community post on my channel. I don't know if you guys know how to get to that, but you load up my channel. There's options for videos, playlists, and community. I posted on there that I wouldn't be doing the 9 o'clock stream, and my transfer video was going to be coming out late. Something popped up, it was out of my control, and yeah, that's why. But I will be back at 9 o'clock tonight, as per usual. And tomorrow the transfer video will be out as normal. And tomorrow afternoon, the stream will only be one stream, as I will be at the airport boarding a plane at about 7 o'clock tomorrow night. So the stream will be a lot earlier in the daytime tomorrow rather than 5 o'clock, and then there will be no second stream. So just to keep you all in the loop, so you all know what's going on. And let's crack on with these comments again. Wolves were good, says Jon Snow. Wolves were very good last season. Very, very good. Aston Villa has spent over around 100 million, says Apostolis Stefanu. They have, I think they had to, though, mate, to be honest, to try and stay in the league, because it's, like I say, it's a golden ticket for them. But listen, they've spent 100 million. Firstly, that probably won't all be spent out in one hit. It'll be done over instalments. But not only that, they've got to try and do that to secure themselves in the Premier League for next season. So for them, 100 million isn't a great deal of money based on their parachute payments and the promotion to get up. But on the flip side of that, it's like an investment for them. They've got to try and invest that to try and then benefit next season and the season after and the season after. Whereas us, we just need to get rid of dead wood and overhaul it. And it's proving quite difficult. Joachim Anderson has just signed for Lyon, says Nizu Bizu. Has he really? I didn't know that, mate. Thoughts on Lewis Dunk to Leicester, says Georgie. I didn't know he was linked to Leicester, mate. Is that true? I don't know. I've not seen it. Anderson went to Lyon. It was done in a week. I don't know, mate. Listen, I don't know. That William Saliba, apparently Roma have been speaking to him for about 3 months, and that only came to light the other day. So listen, the deal might have gone through very quickly. They might have just been desperate for the player. You know, we've seen deals get done on deadline day at 11 o'clock before. So sometimes deals can go through very quickly. But at the same time, if you value a player at £5 million and they're bidding, and if they're valuing a player at £5 million and you're bidding £2.5 million, then it's going to take a lot longer. And if you value him at £2.5 million and they value him at 5, there's reasons for that. And eventually you negotiate and you come to an agreement. It's like when you buy a house. Let me give you an example. Right? You go to an estate agent with your partner, yeah, and you go, right, oh yeah, we want a 3-bedroom detached house or a 4-bed, whatever it may be. Yeah. So you start looking. You've got a budget that you want to go to. You then talk to the estate agent. They then give you a couple of viewings on properties. You go and see a house that's 300 grand. Yeah. You go in there, you go, really nice, yeah, lovely garden, oh, really nice area, yeah, it looks lovely, I'll give you 270. You ain't ever buying a house full asking price. And if you do, you're mad. And not only that as well, right? When I bought this this house I'm in, right, first time buyer, me and my missus, right, first time buyers, and had the deposit, it was empty, no one in it. And it took 6 months for me to move into this house. Normally that would take 6 weeks, yeah, but it ended up taking 6 months. So, you know, sometimes things take longer than they should do. And with Arsenal, it seems like it happens all the time. I must be honest, but at the end of the day, I'm as peed off as anyone that we've gone on tour with Martinelli as the only player signed. Our club captain can't be bothered to play for us anymore, and William Saliba may or may not be happening, but it's not been great so far. But let's just hope and pray that this club sort their arse out in the next 4 weeks and we get some players in. Otherwise, there's going to be a lot of angry people come the first game of the season. What's happened to the Tierney and Fraser links? Not sure, Sergio. I'm not sure, to be honest. I haven't heard any of them, man. So, yeah, they've probably gone dead in the water. Who knows? Might have been saying just to try and unsettle the players. I don't know. And then try and go in with a bid towards the back end. Who knows? I don't know. The success will feel even better because we've been through all this pain, says Brandon. Well, let's hope we do get some success, mate. Let's hope we do. Why aren't you a fan of Ian Wright, says Cherry Adams. The short and curlies of it are, mate, that he flip-flopped depending on which TV channel was paying him at the time. 1 week he'd be on Match of the Day saying you can't coat off the manager, it's disrespectful. He'd then sit on BT Sport and coat off the manager. So, yeah, flippity-flop, flippity-flop. At this rate, we'll finish 8th. Do you know what? Listen, Leicester have gone out and done some good business, man. Wolves are looking to do business, but can somebody tell me how many deals in the Premier League for players have actually gone through? How many official deals have been announced? I bet it ain't that many. And every single transfer window, this seems to happen, you know. Every transfer window, everything gets done towards the end. The Duff says you're a flip-flop as well. Your stance on the Stan changed in a year. Polar opposites. No, it actually changed in 2 years, mate. Don't always believe what you see and hear, my friend. It was 2 years ago. Go to the old channel. You'll see the date on the video, mate. And the reason it changed is because I actually understand how a football club works now and how business works and everything like that. So, and it hasn't changed, if I'm being completely honest, because I'd love nothing more than for him to go. But I'm not going to sit and scream and shout on Twitter to get a few likes about it, mate. That ain't me. I'm done with doing my screaming and shouting. I'm now going to try and enjoy my football. Go and get Kanate from Leipzig instead of Saliba, says DC. Yeah, that could be a plan. Would he come to us? Who knows? The McManus is not worried about Saliba, to be honest. I didn't know who he was 6 weeks ago. And if I'm honest, I'd rather get someone who is ready for now, not wait a season. We are paying too much anyway. See, I agree. I think we are paying too much for him. You know, listen, just because we didn't know who he was, don't mean he's not any good. Obviously, the club know who he is, which is the main thing, yeah? But at the same time, £30 million. Like, really? 30 million for a kid that, you know, plays in France for a team that are saying they want to loan him back. Loan him back, keep him. Don't want him. Go and spend £30 million on a proven centre-back that's ready for now. Tierney is more important than Saliba, says Krish. I agree with that. We need a left-back. We do need a centre-back, don't get me wrong, but I'd rather Tierney. If it was a choice of Tierney and Saliba, Tierney all day long. We need a right back as well as a left back and a centre back, says Charlie. I think you're right there as well, mate. We do probably need a right back. Graham Conway, thank you. Good afternoon to you, my friend. Don't worry about that, bruv. I'm going on holiday tomorrow. I'm loving life, bruv. It's all good right now. So thank you, mate. Should have gone and got someone like Keane from Everton, the centre back, says the kid. Well, listen, he's better than Mustafi. That's a start, but is that the benchmark? That shouldn't be the benchmark. I was speaking to a friend of mine yesterday on text, and we were talking about Bielik and Chambers, and he went, yeah, but they're better than El Neni. Well, I said, look, that shouldn't be the benchmark to play for Arsenal, that they're better than El Neni. So same rule applies there, to be honest with you. I know he's better than Mustafi, but that shouldn't be the benchmark. I don't think Keane's that good, if I'm being honest. We should take Alderweireld if they have Saliba sorted, says Don Manero. Thing with that is, mate, he's probably got a contract clause that says he can't sign for Arsenal. After the whole Sol Campbell thing, mate, they've been a little bit paranoid. I can cheer you Gooners up by telling you Ox played well in a friendly against Tranmere last night. Thanks for selling him to us. Another master stroke grabber. You got yourself a good player there, mate. Who has had the best transfer window in the Premier League so far? Dare you say Spurs? Says the main and on. Well, that's a good question as well, mate, because some teams ain't even done anything. Who have Liverpool signed? Have Liverpool signed anyone? Man United, they've signed Wan-Bissaka, they've signed Daniel James, or Dave, whatever his name is. I think it's Daniel James, isn't it? Spurs have signed Ndombele. Chelsea got Kovacic. They got Pulisic. So, you know, we've only signed Martinelli. But then if you look around the other teams, you know, there's not been that many deals. Man City have got Rodri. I don't know. It's a tough question to answer because you've probably got to wait until the end of the transfer window to see where everyone's at. You know, it's all well and good right now saying that Spurs have got Ndombele. That's a great signing. And it probably is a great signing. Let's be real. He's a great player. But, you know, in 3 weeks' time, it could look completely different if everyone just goes bang, 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 bang and start buying players and they don't. So it's a tough one, man. And Ndombele equals Bakayoko. Do you know what? I said that on Twitter, man. I proper rustled Tottenham Twitter. No, I called him the Wanyama. That was it. I said the French Wanyama. That's what I called him. They were going mad. Liverpool and Man City don't need major signings, to be fair, right now. Well, they don't. I agree with that. But at the same time, their backup striker is Divock Origi. Yeah? Arsenal fans would turn their nose up if we signed him, but they've just strapped him up to a new deal. You know, they've got James Milner playing in their team. If he was linked to Arsenal, Arsenal fans would be in meltdown. Why are we going cheap for James Milner? Jordan Henderson's another one. You know, them types of players are the types of players we should be looking at. Yeah, types of players that are not fancy Dans, that are run through brick walls for you and are happy to be bit part players if they have to be. But then when they take their chance, like Origi did, yeah, my man's scoring in Champions League semi and Champions League final. Yeah, he sat on the bench all season, but he didn't shirk. He came on, didn't have his head up his arse. He came on and done a job for them. And that is where we need players like that. We need a James Milner in midfield. That type of player that will just run around, breaking up play, but reliable and give you 7 or 8 out of 10 every single week. At the moment, how many of our players do that? Not anywhere near enough. Probably 1 or 2 if we're lucky. Them types of players are the workhorses, says Gary Laguna. Exactly, that's what you need. You need workhorses, mate. You've got to get these workhorses into the team. And if you don't, then unfortunately you end up with a lazy team full of prima donnas that don't fancy it. Good afternoon, Nuno. I hope you're well, mate. It's so frustrating how far we have declined as a club. Go get Lewis Dunk or a proven centre-back. Mate, it's sad that we've fallen so far down, mate, because we were all sold down the river. We were all sold a dream that is exactly all it is, a dream. You know, moved to the Emirates to compete with Europe's elite. So that obviously ain't the case. We moved to the Emirates for all the shareholders to line their pockets, which at the same time is cool if we're competing, but we're not. So sadly, we're in free fall at the minute. But you know what? It's also sad as well. And listen, I don't really give a fuck about Man United, yeah. But I remember growing up on the days of Arsenal-Man United rivalry. And now look how far we've both fallen. There you go, man. It's sad. Ashley Ryan says, good evening, Lee. Just like the video, bro. Great channel. Thank you for that, mate. Can we still have a positive window with signings? Well, we can. I think we will sign players. Listen, like I said, the transfer window has been open for 2 months, right? In fact, over 2 months. When did it open? 16th of May. So, yeah, 2 months. And how many deals have gone through in the Premier League? So, yeah, whilst it's sad that we ain't gone out and bought players, and we should have been, don't get me wrong, we should have been out there first 2 months of this window, signing up 2, 3, 4 players and actively getting rid of the crap in our team. We haven't done that. And we're now sat here all fuming because we haven't done that. But let's not get it twisted. There is still 4 weeks of this transfer window left, and the amount of deals that go through on the last week will probably eclipse the first 2 months of the window. So, I don't know. It's just frustrating that as a club, we should have a set game plan to go out in a transfer window and go bang, 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 get all the players done and dusted. Last year, we did that. Last year, we had our players in. Is this because Sven Mislintat's not here anymore? Who knows? But I don't know. Arsenal versus United is now the Banter Club derby. Yeah, it is, mate. It is. Do a couple more questions and then I'm going to get myself out of here. And I will be back at 9 o'clock this evening, so keep your eyes peeled for that. Nearly 1,000 people watching live. Do stick a like on the video. So yeah, happy days. You keep buffering. Do I really? Is it buffering? Somebody said that to me yesterday as well, that it was buffering. Might be your Wi-Fi. It seems all right my end, but then I suppose I wouldn't get any lag, would I? Get Gareth Bale on loan, mate. I'd love nothing more than Gareth Bale to come to us. It'd be one up on them, and he's absolutely class. And yeah, listen, there's been players that we have been linked to this window that, you know, people have turned their nose up at. I've turned my nose up at so many of the players that we've been linked to. The fact is, all I want is players to come into this club and do what's required, and that is to run every single minute of that game, put 100% in, and leave everything on the pitch. And if you do that as a collective, as an 11 or a 14 with your subs, and you walk off that pitch as losers, nobody can say nothing because you've done everything that was required. You know, we've all walked away from games where we've gone, oh, if only Lacazette had scored that today, or only if Aubameyang had buried that chance at the bridge, or whatever. Yeah, that always happens. But I couldn't fault them at Stamford Bridge for losing. Yeah, because every single one of them gave everything. And if we'd taken our chances, we would have won. And on another day, we would have slapped them 5. But we didn't. Where I can have a go at them is the Europa League final, where they're just all ambling around the pitch like the whole world owes them saying. Yeah, that is not acceptable. Not acceptable. Your internet is dodgy. My internet's running at 55 meg, so I don't know about that. But lagging. Everyone's saying it's lagging. Is it really lagging? Jesus Christ. 55 meg and I can't get a non-laggy stream. Right, I might as well wrap it up based on that then. Otherwise, it's just going to be... So, yeah, happy days. Listen, I thank you very much to nearly 1,000 people that were watching live as well. I do appreciate that. Please do stick a like on the video. Nearly 200 on it already. So thank you very much to the ones who have done that. So yeah, happy days. I'll be back at 9. Hopefully we'll have a bit more positive news at 9 o'clock rather than fans in it. So yeah, I'll be back at 9. Thank you to everyone in the comment section. Thank you to everyone who donated as well. I do appreciate that. And thank you to everyone who watched live. I'll see you at 9. Laters, peeps.